This is a paid advertisement on behalf of CopperQuest. What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Joshua White, Technical Advisor for CopperQuest. How are you doing today, Joshua? Pleasure to have you back on.
Hey, I'm good, Aaron. Good to see you again. Good to be back on.
Yes, definitely. So excited to be talking. There was some recent news. CopperQuest recently announced the acquisition of the Oxer Gold project in Idaho, which you were also involved with as a vendor. Can you start by giving investors an overview of the project, its location, geological setting, and what originally attracted you to this asset?
Yeah. So Oxer is in Bonner County in northern Idaho, and it's an orogenic gold project. It's very close to my heart. Oxer has been the focus of all my efforts since about 2019. I originally founded Lightning Creek Resources Corp, which we later renamed to Lightning Creek Gold Corp, around the Oxer project because I believe in the geologic merit of it so much. Um, it's uh, it's a large scale project. We have 130 unpatented mining claims covering the ground right now. It's a shear zone quartz vein hosted gold and silver system, and the known mineralization extents. It's about 7 kilometers long by about 1 kilometer wide. So it's a corridor of anastomosing shear zones that contain varying amounts of quartz with both gold and silver. We've gotten our samples on the project have come back greater than 3 ounces per ton gold in places. There was a little bit of historic production on the project, not much, and there's been very little exploration. To the best of my knowledge, we did the first drilling ever on the property. In fact, we bought a diamond drill, Lightning Creek Gold did, in order to execute this work. And we had two small drill programs in 2021 and then again in 2022, totaling about 800 feet of total diamond drilling. And we got some pretty interesting results back on that. The reason that I was originally drawn to Oxer so much was the geologic setting. So it shares many characteristics with some of the biggest orogenic gold systems in the world. I'm not saying it is one of the biggest, an important caveat, but it might be. It shares these characteristics. For example, it's located near the Hope Fault, which is it's a large fault. It's what we call a crustal scale fault. It's got 5 kilometers of vertical offset and 25 kilometers of horizontal offset or lateral shift. So it's a big fault. The project itself, the mineralization itself, is hosted in a quartz diorite, and that is the same rock type that hosts the Pioneer Braylorn deposit in British Columbia. And it's one of the more prolific host rocks for orogenic gold systems for geochemical reasons. In addition to that, the setting, it's in a montane region, so it's green schist facies metamorphosed rocks, which are ideal for forming these orogenic gold systems. And there's a variety of other reasons, but all of these different characteristics came together to suggest that this project has a lot of merit.
So before Oxer, then, CopperQuest also acquired the Nicash copper gold project in Idaho, which you were closely involved with as well. That's what we talked about on our last interview. Can you talk about that earlier project and how Nicash helped shape the company's interests in this region in the United States?
Yeah, so Nicash is a little different. It is a porphyry copper target. And due to some exciting discoveries in the recent past here in Idaho, particularly the Leviathan porphyry made by Hercules Metals, the interest in porphyry projects and the awareness of the fact that they're actually in Idaho really it really happened. It really came to the market. And so the fact that we had one of these porphyry copper projects, it was really exciting. And we were more than excited to work with CopperQuest and to bring that project into their fold because it was a natural fit with the copper projects, with the porphyry projects they already have in BC. Essentially, Nicash is a continuation of the same porphyry copper belt or montane trend as it goes down the Rocky Mountains from BC down into central Idaho.
So since you've known the Oxer project for quite some time, what were the key technical or geological indicators that gave you the confidence to bring this asset into CopperQuest's portfolio?
So Oxer is a very interesting project geologically. It's also very interesting from an anthropomorphic standpoint because it's had very little exploration done on it. There's some historic production, there's some underground workings. It was very remote. So the men that were originally working this project in the early 1900s, they were doing so with mules. They would have to take mules miles into the wilderness just to get to the project. And then they believed in it so much that they drove a kilometer of tunnel underground in the middle of nowhere without roads, without any nearby infrastructure that we now have.
Mhm.
So it was a good project from that standpoint, but it sat essentially unexplored from the Great Depression in the 1930s until we picked up the project in 2018. So during that time, it saw essentially no modern exploration at all. There was a local group that went up and did some more production, but they didn't do any drilling, no exploration, no geophysics, nothing like that. They just went up and captured some ore and hauled it off the mountain and processed it. But geologically, it's interesting. It deserves a modern exploration program just because of the characteristics of it. The size and continuity of the shear zones is significant. We have 7 kilometers of strike length of shear zone hosted quartz veins. We don't know what the depth is because it's never been drilled, but we have geologic reasons to believe that it goes quite deep. Our samples that we've collected on the surface have been very compelling, up to greater than 3 ounces per ton. The drilling that we've done has come back quite interesting as well. And we have drill targets and we have a drill permit. So this project is drill ready for this summer's work.
So CopperQuest has historically been known for its projects in British Columbia, but we're now seeing the company expand into the United States with projects like Nicash and Oxer. From your perspective, what makes Idaho such an attractive jurisdiction for copper and gold exploration right now?
That's a great question. So Idaho has a variety of factors that make it very compelling as an exploration play right now. First is politically, the state is known as a mining friendly state. The state government is pro development. The current federal administration is pro development, as we've all seen. And so we have political factors that are really amplifying Idaho as a place to be exploring right now. When you tie that in with the geologic potential of the state, it becomes really quite compelling. We have a variety of different deposit types and a variety of different geologic terrains here, but in summary, what we're working with between the Oxer project in northern Idaho and the Nicash project in central Idaho is essentially the continuation of the Rocky Mountains as they exit southern British Columbia and they come into Idaho. So it's this montane terrain that hosts a variety of different deposit types, and it's a natural extension, both geologically and geographically, from the suite or the portfolio of projects that the company has in British Columbia.
So looking ahead, what kind of exploration activities can investors expect to see on CopperQuest's US projects, and how do Oxer and Nicash fit into the broader pipeline of projects the company plans to advance?
That's an excellent question. I just want to note that I'm really excited about this upcoming exploration season.
Mhm.
There are a handful of activities that we are talking about performing this summer. First, both of these projects need geophysics. So, Nicash, in particular, what Nicash needs is an airborne geophysical program to identify some drill targets. We would then, the plan is to take those geophysical results and run them through our partner AI tech company that essentially turns geophysical data into drill targets. And then with Oxer, we want to do the same. We'd like to fly some airborne geophysics there, as well as potentially do some ground-based geophysics. But since we have a permitted drill program in place at Oxer, we'd like to further delineate our drill targets with some geophysics, and then potentially execute the drill program that we have. That drill program also includes a fully permitted plan to reopen and regain access to the historic underground workings, which would be extraordinary for us because one, then we can go start underground sampling, but two, we could potentially plan follow on underground drill programs, which are typically easier to permit in the United States.
Awesome, Joshua. Well, it sounds like you've got a very exciting season coming up. Thanks for the updates. You guys are up to a lot, so I look forward to covering the story, and we'll have you back on for more updates as things progress.
That sounds great, Aaron. It's a pleasure talking with you again today. Thank you for your time.